Hey all, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video unboxing and first impressions look at the Xiaomi Mi 3S. This is an Android TV box that you can find on GearBest for about $58. So if you're familiar with Xiaomi's product line, you may be thinking, well, I know the standard Mi TV box is a bit more expensive. It sells for about $70, $80. That is the international version that has the same exact internal specifications, processor, memory, performance as this one. The only difference with the 3S and the regular international Mi TV box is the software or the firmware. On here, this is the version that was originally released for Chinese markets, so it has a few more TV shows and apps that are targeted for the Chinese demographic versus the regular version, which is more for Western audiences. That comes with Netflix, that comes with a Google search, and the Play Store. So you can actually purchase this one and save a little bit of money if you want to, and also install the regular international firmware. Or if you're already someone who likes to watch maybe Asian TV shows and programs, you can still just pick this one up, and it gets you some exclusive content that you can't find as easily on the regular version. So this one's a little bit cheaper, has the same specifications, and that includes 2 gigs of built-in RAM. You have a quad-core processor clocked at 2 gigahertz. It's the ARMLogic S905X, and it runs on Android 6.0 underneath of the Xiaomi MIUI. It also comes with the Mali 450 GPU if you want to do some light gaming, and 8 gigabytes of built-in storage. There's actually another version that is $10 cheaper. That's about $45. That comes with only 1 gig of RAM if you want an even cheaper option. It also has Bluetooth. It has Wi-Fi, A, B, G, and N, and it has a remote which supports gestures and has a built-in microphone, so you can use voice search recognition. So the design here is very beautiful. It's actually made in collaboration with Google on the international version, which again looks exactly the same on the outside. It's won the Red Dot Good Design Award, and the packaging here you can see is still in Chinese because again of the 3S label, which means this was originally for the Chinese market. So opening up the box here, we have right on top just the Mi TV box. Has a pretty round and fairly modern looking design, similar to Apple's TV boxes, but it's made entirely out of plastic, polycarbonate, as opposed to aluminum. There's rubber feet that prevents it from sliding around on a surface, and there's also an HDMI port, AV port if you don't want to use HDMI, USB port for accessories and keyboards, and the power port. So this is what it looks like. Underneath here we have the instruction manual. Again, everything is documented in Chinese this time around, but it's simple enough to use without it. And down below here we have the accessories. We have a full HDMI cable as a bonus, and there's also the power adapter, which has the Xiaomi logo printed on it. Very compact. The cable length could be a little bit longer, but overall it's not too bad. And finally we have the remote. So that's it. Very simple packaging as always, but everything again is fully functional even here in the States. So looking at the remote here, it's again the exact same remote, at least design-wise, as the regular international version. The only difference is instead of having a microphone icon printed on the right, you have a menu icon. You can still access the microphone located on the top for voice searching, but you have to pull up the settings to do it on this one. The remote itself is pretty comfortable. This is actually a touch-sensitive gesture pad. It's not only left, right, up, and down click keys, but you can actually pull on it or rotate it with your finger like on an iPod Classic, and that will actually move you between lists, and I can swipe as well. So it's a smart gesture area. Power key on the top there, volume controls. I do wish there was a play pause key, but you can tap on the center key to do that when you're in certain apps. Plugging things into the TV and turning it on, the setup screen is initially in Chinese. It tells us to tap on the center key with the remote, so I'm going to try and do that. And again, it seems to tell us to try and rotate this in either direction. It's successful, so it seems like this entire controller pad here is touch sensitive. It's a gesture area, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to swipe, and that's successful, and now we're entering our Wi-Fi information. The slowest part of the setup is probably entering the Wi-Fi password, because you have to hunt and peck letters one at a time using the remote, which isn't really fast, which is why I recommend plugging in a USB keyboard onto the full USB port of the TV box if you want faster entry in the future. However, in general, I found that with most TV boxes on the market, once you bypass all the setup and you are into the regular Android OS, when you are searching up things like TV shows, you can always use the voice recognition feature, and also becomes easier to use and navigate since you won't be doing as much typing. And now we're done. So this is what the main interface looks like. You can see everything is still in Chinese at the moment, but we have these large tiles for navigation, so pretty similar looking to most TV boxes on the market. And it's also sorted by categories such as, let's say, the marketplace, Xiaomi's own marketplace, a gaming center, media center, Xiaomi apps like weather, pretty standard stuff if you've seen a Xiaomi smartphone, so fairly consistent. There's also some news feeds and other things that are also in Chinese, some ads as well. Ironically enough, for Xiaomi's own phones. But on the top here, we also have a search bar, so for searching up specific titles. It seems like all the dramas are being popped up and recommended for playback are currently in Chinese, since again this was intended for the Chinese market. So we have again some more categories to select through. VIP is probably paid services and paid shows, and some movies, television shows. It's sorted by these different categories. Entertainment, so maybe singing contests. To access settings, I can just tap on the up key a few times to pull down this notification shade, and from here I can go over to the settings icon over to the right. So that's our first impressions look at the Xiaomi Mi 3S TV box. We'll come out with a more complete review soon, but for now that's it. Overall, I would say that the design of the box is elegant. It's able to handle any 4K streaming videos without any problems, and I really like the remote. Just like on the regular version, it's really easy to use, and the gesture pad is quite easy to control and master. It actually makes navigation feel a bit more intuitive and quicker. The UI interface is also very similar, except as you saw there, everything is in Chinese, so hopefully we'll figure out a way to convert that to English or download a different ROM by the time we pull out the official review. But for now, this has been it. So thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.